A couple of days ago, Rolex released a statement regarding the supply or lack of their watches. First of all, I'm going to read the statement and then we can discuss it briefly. The scarcity of our products is not a strategy on our part. Our current production cannot meet the existing demand in an exhaustive way, at least not without reducing the quality of our watches, something we refuse to do as the quality of our products must never be compromised. This level of excellence requires time, and as we have always done, we will continue to take the necessary time to ensure that all of our watches not only comply with our standards of excellence, but also meets the expectations of our customers in terms of quality, reliability and robustness. Rolex does not compromise on what it takes to produce exceptional watches. All Rolex watches are developed and produced in-house at our 4 sites in Switzerland. They are assembled by hand with extreme care to meet the brand's unique and high quality standards of quality, performance and aesthetics. Understandably, this naturally restricts our production capacities, which we continue to increase as much as possible and always according to our quality criteria. Finally, it should be noted that Rolex watches are available exclusively from our official retailers, who independently manage the allocation of watches to customers. End of statement. Having read that statement, we can ask ourselves, and we can ask you, and you can ask yourselves this simple question: is there anything in that statement that we did not already know? If not, well, you certainly do now. The only real difference between this and other similar comments is that this was a release statement, and other times it's an answer to a question at a press conference, Baselworld or an interview. It's not really news at all. But of course everybody who's saying, oh, Rolex has said this, Rolex has said that, they've said it before. Rolex of course could make a few more watches, maybe not, you know, 1 million more or anything like that, but I'm sure they could make more, or they could switch production from gold and precious metal and diamonds over to the more popular stainless steel models. But do they really want to do that? No, I don't think they do. I think they like the idea that the the stainless steel models are hard to get, because that adds to the allure. The scarcity of our products is not a strategy on our part. No, but you could alter things. You could make a few more of this and a few less of that. But of course Rolex don't want to do that. Our current production cannot meet the existing demand in an exhaustive way. Well, obviously, given how popular the watches are, yes, I would agree with that, because they'd have to make a heck of a lot more. But even if they doubled their production quality, or their production, if they doubled their production, how many people would then actually be interested in Rolex? You know, because if you could just simply walk into a store and buy a Rolex and walk out again, how many of you right now that are waiting, complaining, saying, I can't get my Rolex, I gotta wait, the ADs are selling to flippers, the ADs are doing this, the ADs are doing all sorts of evil, devilish things. But if these watches were actually available, how many of you would actually be wanting to go and get one? I'll bet a lot less than currently stands. The level of excellence requires time, and as we have always done, we will continue to take the necessary time to ensure that all of our watches not only comply with our standards of excellence, but also meet the expectations of our customer in terms of quality, reliability and robustness. Rolex does not compromise on what it takes to produce exceptional watches. Well, they're not going to, are they? Because they guarantee that, and again, that's just plain obvious common sense stuff. They give a 5-year guarantee. They only produce watches plus other, little knickknacks and things like that. So they're not going to be wanting to reduce quality or reliability or anything like that, because then if all Rolexes started falling apart, like cheap made stuff, then once again the reputation of the brand will drop. And of course Rolex don't want that. They want it, that everybody wants a Rolex, and many people can't get them. That kind of just plays right into Rolex's hands. And don't forget, they're in the completely unique situation of being a charity. And of course, because they're a charity, they don't have shareholders, they don't have anybody to please. They can just do exactly how they want to do it. It's an absolute brilliant marketing strategy. And then basically the last little bit is about the Rolex, authorized dealers having, complete control over how they sell the watches. In other words, it's like Rolex brushing their hands with it and saying, we've made the watch, we're shipping it out, it's now out of our hands, so don't keep complaining to us thinking that we are, supplying the watches for flippers, or that we're controlling the market or anything like that. It's basically Rolex saying exactly what they said a million times before. We're producing as many as we can, we're getting them out as quickly as we can, and that's about the end of it. And of course what they're not saying is that yes, we probably could produce a few more of this one and a few less of that one, but why would we ever want to do that? Let's hope that many authorized dealers are like mine, helpful, kind, caring, take the time out for their customers, are very careful with who they sell their watches to, and that they don't just, sell to the flippers like so many people on the forums keep accusing them of doing such a thing. So, let's hope that the authorized dealers and indirectly Rolex are doing what they can to, to control these flippers. Anyway, I'll end it there. This has proved to be a bit longer than I was originally planning, but thank you very much for watching. I just wanted to say a few words on this situation. It's nothing new, so carry on waiting for your Rolex. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button, and I'll see you in the next one.